In the beginning of 2016, 2 days after my 27th birthday, I bought this car. A 1972 Dodge Dart Custom for $1,300. A week later, I boarded an international flight out of Los Angeles, headed for New Delhi, India, a place I'd only dreamed of before. With the express purpose of shooting a street series video on contemporary Indian life that later became a video I finished back in the States, titled "India is Great." While overseas, I left this old car parked on the West Avenue 34th block of Verdugo in the Eagle Rock neighborhood of Northeast LA. 4 months later, when I returned, the car was still sitting right where I left it, and only the battery had died. So I charged it up and drove east out to the high desert, where I rented a small apartment for a month, editing together "India is Great." A few weeks later, I left on a nationwide tour with the video that took me 3 months and 14,000 miles, driving alone from Joshua Tree, California, up to Portland, Oregon, out to Gary, Indiana, and all through the Midwest. Then finally from Maine to Maryland, back up through New England, and out again to Gary, where I caught a flight back to California to pick up another car I'd left out there in the desert that would take me up into NorCal to find work through the fall. Here in this video, I'm on that India is Great tour. Stopped in the small California coastal town of Fort Bragg, where I was booked to screen my video that night at this community spot called the Pacific Textile Arts Center, a place I'd been referred to through a Mendocino County internet group by a friend who was working in the area. I was immediately surprised by how much I liked the town and began shooting with some people I met the one day that I spent there. For starters, it seemed that most people agreed that the town of Fort Bragg had a major problem with their large population of garden snails.
That's a snail, squish it. Crazy.
Are you from around here?
Huh?
Are you from around here?
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
I don't know.
Is there a snail problem here?
What?
A snail problem here?
Oh, fuck yes.
People hate
I
them.
picked up 30 of them today out of my garden.
I'm on this trip, right?
You what?
I'm on this trip. I make videos,
Oh, right.
and I'm screening a video at the Pacific Textile Arts Center tonight.
Oh.
You ever heard of it? Just down Laurel. It's like where Laurel dead ends.
What's it called?
The Pacific Textile Arts Center.
Oh, really?
It's on Laurel and Alger.
Oh, what do you do there? Show video?
I'm just screening this video that I just shot while I was in India, of Indian street life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's at 7 p.m. Open to the public. If you're free later, yeah, come on by.
What's that?
I'll write it down for you. Here,
Oh.
I'll give you a card. So I gave him my information as the topic turned back towards snails.
I don't like them eating plants. Strip.
You're a gardener, like flowers or vegetables?
Flowers mostly.
And
It's hard to garden here because the soil is just
so sandy?
sandy, and you water it and the water sits on top of the soil. Weird.
Oh yeah.
So my partner is the gardener.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then the guy who had originally stomped out that snail suddenly returned.
And there's snails, used to be snails all over the place. So I put snail poison down. Then we got parental control of our little grandson. So I just go out, I call it the snail trail. And go out, pick them all, squish them.
How old is your grandson?
6.
You just send him out there. I'm sure he'll do tons of
Oh,
damage.
he does it too. He likes to squish them.
You're not a gardener though?
No.
Then why do you have a problem with the snails? Because he doesn't like them because they eat the flowers.
Well, we have plenty of flowers in our yard. So they crawl all over everything, and they're yucky, sticky.
He just stepped on that big snail. It was the biggest one I've ever seen.
Oh no, you should have seen some of the ones in my yard this year. They were huge.
Bigger than that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was way bigger
There's
than
not
that.
much to see.
He said that was the biggest one he's ever seen.
Yeah, for me anyway.
Well, it's pretty big. Yeah.
He's a
Well,
gardener.
I squished it, so
So
it's littler.
condensed.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Murder.
Tell Jeff about you.
Well, I know he goes in the garden and smashes them, and I feel sorry for him. Because
No.
I felt pretty.
they're neat little creatures.
I didn't feel so good about it seeing him go like
Yeah.
with the boot.
What is that?
It's a dead snail.
Gross.
Do you know about the snails in Fort Bragg?
Yeah.
Some guy came by and stepped on it.
Oh.
Squished it.
That little
bird was here all day.
The snail?
This thing,
Yeah.
yeah. Come on, Lucy.
Wow, I got ice cream!
Come on, Luca.
I continued down the sidewalk and turned into an alleyway where my eye was caught by this red pickup truck parked in front of an old barn that was covered in morning glories. Something in the pattern of the different colored flowers against the barn reminded me of my grandmother and the old farmhouse she lived in New Hampshire. Specifically, of the quilts that lay atop the beds in her house, the place where I was born. Across the alleyway from that old barn, I spotted a planter box full of ripe gooseberries. I began to pick them until suddenly I was stopped.
I'm sorry you can't pick them today because I want to pick them and give to my master, And I'm going to introduce this plant to my master.
Has he ever had them before?
This is brand new. Nobody know about it.
She could tell I was interested in her garden and began showing me around, identifying the various plant species and their different uses.
Goji is very good for your eyes, for your liver, and It grow in China everywhere, and this is very easy to grow. You want one, I give to you one plant.
Okay.
And then this is very good to eat. I pick some for you. You try it. You try to eat it, and then and they dry it, and you go to what's that? The store. There's a $20-something a pound.
It's good, fresh.
Well, China, everywhere we always eat that all the time. You know. Yeah. They're very easy to grow.
So what are you doing with all these plants?
I give to the temple.
Which temple?
Kuan Yin Temple in Portland. Yeah.
What kind of plants are these?
Lily. Those are all different color lily. See right there. Here, come here, young man. Here. Come here, take a look at this one. See?
That's a special one.
You can have it for you.
Oh, wow.
You see the young people, you know, they do too much computer, their eyes get dry, and so you eat this, and this is very good for your eyes. So if you want it, you can have this. Yeah, this year I didn't.
What were these other ones called?
This is golden berry. Golden berry, you know. Or you can call Cape gooseberry. They got many names.
Ah.
They originate from Africa, South Africa. If you want a plant, I give to you plant.
Really?
Yeah. You want a plant?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, I go get the shovel to dig, okay? I had to go find a container for you. And this is eatable too.
It's what?
That is eatable. You eat that all the time.
Oh.
No diabetes. See here. Look at lots of these here. These are, when you eat that, no diabetes. See, when I was a kid, you know, when I was young, we don't have much money. We always eat that. We go dig that from the street. Then you eat it, and no diabetes.
It grows just everywhere?
Yeah, in Taiwan, in Los Angeles, in Ukiah, and I brought it from Los Angeles. and now it grows here.
What's it named?
Porcelain. You know, like a China porcelain. Porcelain. You say that, similar to that. Okay. I don't know how. And because one European man told me that.
Uh-huh.
And Mexican people eat a lot that too.
Oh.
Yeah, Mexicans.
Are you from Taiwan?
I'm from Taiwan.
I have a good friend from Taiwan.
Yeah? Where?
She lives in Oakland.
Oh. Yeah.
She's half Taiwan. She's half Taiwan.
Oh.
Half American, half Taiwan.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. So you want a big one or you want a little one?
It doesn't need to be too big. Not too big.
Where do you live?
In Rhode Island.
Oh, you want to take it back there? Oh, no. Really?
Well, you know what? I
Yeah.
think I have a buddy in Elk.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I'll give it to him. He's a gardener.
Oh, okay. Okay. Here.
Do you have problems with snails?
Yes, I do. But I get up 10 o'clock at night and then I put them to the garbage can.
You kill them?
No, I immigrant them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Send them to
Immigrate them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
send them to Santa Rosa. That's
I saw people in this town tell me they kill all the snails. They hate the
Yeah.
snails.
Really?
Yeah.
And you see, I am Buddhist. I cannot kill them.
But you're Buddhist. You don't kill snails.
Yeah, so there's quite a few there. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
That's so nice of you. Wow.
It's so easy to grow, you know?
Wow.
All you have to do just put some of these seeds in. It'll grow.
Those are the seeds.
Uh-huh.
Of course, yeah, the berries.
Yeah, see? Those are the berries. They grow.
I'm gonna give this to a couple of my friends.
Okay, one more?
If you, sure, yeah. Because I can also give it to my friend Ariana. She's a gardener. She lives in Oakland.
Oh,
She's a gardener though.
yeah.
And she's Chinese. She's
Yeah?
half Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's half Chinese, half Peruvian.
Oh. She,
She'll be here tonight.
oh.
I'm screening a video at
Yeah.
the Pacific Textile Arts Center tonight. You know the Pacific Textile Arts Center down Laurel?
Yes.
On the end of Laurel behind the soccer field?
Mm-hmm.
I'm screening a video about India. I was just over in India.
Oh.
And Ariana's coming up for the screening, and I'm going to screen the video at 7 p.m. if you're free.
I know them. Oh.
They have a really nice garden.
Yeah.
They won the best garden in Fort Bragg this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It just happened
Really?
this week. Yeah,
Oh.
they won. It doesn't even look that good.
Huh.
I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, I know all the ladies over there. And the other lady, what's her name? I forgot. Elaine?
Elaine Todd, yeah.
Yeah.
She's the director.
Uh-huh. I am so ugly, don't take me pictures.
Huh?
I said, I am so ugly, don't take me because I'm not prepared for it. Don't take me no more. Come on.
What are we gonna go see?
I show you my Buddha. See, there's my Buddha. Oh, that is an embroidery done by
In the
hand.
back?
Yeah, this is all done by hand. You know, needles.
Yeah.
This is water that shows you how clean, how purified you are.
And cookies?
And cookie for the Buddha.
And some dressing?
Everything.
Dressing.
Cookie too.
What's the song?
Oh, that's a Amitofo, you know, the Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
You sing it every day, and then we have a good energy here. Yeah, I pray on my knee like that. See, the frog and bring our money in. You have to face inside. You don't want to face out. That's a feng shui. That's all feng shui.
That's all feng shui?
Oh yeah, that's all bring money in.
Oh yeah, bringing money, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, other people pray here too?
No, just me.
Really?
Yeah.
You have so many plates.
Oh, that's a
For guests.
no. On the okay, you follow the moon calendar. Moon calendar, and then the 1st and the 15th, and I cook all the food, you know.
For Buddha?
For the Buddha. Maybe you want a table or something. A TV tray table. This is made of buffalo horn. Okay, when you're sick, you take this, dip in the rice wine, and then you start to scrape on your neck, or here, go like this,
Right up there?
and
then your back?
and then back. Yeah, buffalo horn, you know.
This is Chinese medicine?
Yeah. And this will eat for you know,
For in your ear?
to poke the ears
Oh.
and different.
Acupressure.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, this is for that.
And this?
And this is for the head. Yeah.
I got one of
massage
those.
your head.
I got one of those too.
Yeah. So.
Just then, it was beginning to be about that time, so I hopped back in the car and made my way towards the Pacific Textile Arts Center.
Look out! What you see? I see a train coming. A train coming down a long, lonesome track. I tell you, girl, I gotta go on home now. But deep down in your heart, you know that someday, just now, baby, I'll see you around sometime. I'll be on my merry way.
My buddy Will, a farmer working in the area,
Oh, those are coming.
he's the one who originally put me in touch with the Mendocino County Internet group.
We even have a piece of cake to
Oh yeah, there's baklava.
Really
That's good.
good.
It's
Just
good.
kind of control your crumbs if you can.
Oh yeah.
I know it's a hard one to control. Taking a picture of the sold out audience here.
The crowd that night consisted of these 4 older ladies who represented the active members of the Pacific Textile Arts Center. My new friend Jennifer, who I'd spent the afternoon with in her garden, seated in the back, and my buddy Will from out of town. Apparently, someone had seriously dropped the ball on promoting the event. After the screening had ended, the ladies got into their cars and drove away, while me and Will stood across the street as the sun began to set over a soccer field. We stood there for a long while watching the sun go down, contemplating where to camp out for the night. When I suddenly noticed a familiar-looking minivan come rolling to a stop right behind us. It was my new friend Jennifer, who I'd spent the afternoon with in her garden. She had returned and motioned for me to come towards her car. As I approached, she rolled the window down and handed me an envelope containing $200. Earlier, I had let her into the screening for free, telling her to forgo the donation box by the door. She had returned to make a very generous donation and to express how much she had enjoyed watching my video.